Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my home. My name is Becky, and I'm so excited that you're here today. We are back at it. We are, as you can see behind me, we have a mess. If you have not been watching my videos, I am decorating my home for fall, and I decorate really big. I go a little bit overboard when I decorate for the burn months. I mean, if we're being honest, I go a little overboard for all of the months, but especially overboard towards the end of the year, because that's when I get the most excited. So we're decorating for fall, and I'm hoping that today is going to be the last video that I have for the inside of the house. I want to finish the dining room and the kitchen. I have an open concept house. I have a small house, so it's not going to be too hard to be able to do that. I just need to focus and not make any impromptu trips to the thrift store, and just pay attention to what I'm doing and get the job done. This is Thursday. I have had the whole week off, and I have been working on the house a little bit each day. Today is the first day that I have not had to go anywhere or be anywhere, or that I have had an empty house. So I'm hoping to be able to really knock it out today and finish up. And then the next video will probably be the final video, and that's going to be the front porch. By the time you watch all these videos, I will probably be decorating for Halloween at that point, because I've got 2 videos scheduled a week. I wanted to do more, but I think we might just better stick to 2 a week so that I don't get behind again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cleaning off this table. So the best thing that I know to do is go outside, get my bins, bring them in, and then I can kind of start packing away the things that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use this year, and then maybe set a few things on the couch. I just need to get the table cleaned so that I can have a clean slate to work with and my brain can function properly. So the other thing is, I use my centerpiece for the living room, so I've got to come up with a different centerpiece. I'm not quite sure where we're going to go with that, what's going to happen with that. I got a couple ideas in my head, but still not sure how it's going to turn out, but we're going to do that together. I bought some new placemats, and we've got plenty of dishes to choose from, so we should be able to put together a pretty tablescape just with what we have around here, because we've got a gracious plenty of things to choose from. So the only thing that I'm pretty confident that I want to use are these placemats that I just bought this year. I know that in the past I have always pulled out my amber glass to decorate my table, and let me tell you, that is going to be hard to beat, because that is one of the most beautiful tablescapes that you could ever possibly imagine. It's just glorious, and as much as I want to go pull out that amber glass, and I might still pull it out. I'm not going to say that I won't completely. I'm just saying that I wanted to try something just a little bit different this year and not do the same thing again. But if you're curious, definitely go to last year specifically, to my tablescape Decorate With Me, and check that out, because it was so pretty, so pretty. It's going to be hard to beat, and it won't beat it, honestly. You're going to say this tablescape is not as pretty as last year. I'm sure it won't be, but it's going to be different, which is the goal. So I just got these from Home Goods. They were $15 a pack, and I had to get 2 packs because I have a 6-place setting. 6-piece place setting. Is that right? I have 6 chairs that I have to put a spot at. So I'm not sure about the table runner yet, but I'm pretty confident in these. So I'm going to definitely start with what I'm most confident in, and that's this. So let me do this real quick. All right. Trash truck's outside, so you may hear it. I thought I got all these doggone plastic things out. Guess I did not. Okay, got all the plastic parts out. So we're gonna just set these out. These I thought that I could use year round because of the style of my home. So that's why I got these. I didn't necessarily need placemats for fall because I've never actually used them before. But when I saw them, okay, so I saw some really fancy ones and I love them, and I was really debating getting them for fall because, you know, I got influenced. But when I was looking at them, I saw these and I thought, you know what, this is just like the rug that everybody keeps telling me that I need for my living room and I can't find. And this is kind of my style. So we can use this all year long and it's worth the investment. So that's pretty. I love these. These are me. Okay, so we're gonna have a long spot here that we're gonna have to fill up for a centerpiece. So what are we gonna do? I need to think about it a minute because I don't think I need a table runner. I think I need something different. So let me think. Okay, so I have something we're gonna try. Don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. I haven't used this in a long time, but I had a bunch of these at one point. I made them when I was helping a lady with a wedding. She had fox and hound themed wedding, and we made these as centerpieces for her table for her wedding because it was a very, very rustic wedding theme. So I kept one, and I used to use it all the time, but I haven't used it in a while. But all it is really is just a layer, and it gives it just a little bit of height. So I'm gonna put that down. It needs to be wiped off though because it's been in storage. We're gonna try that. Do something just a little bit different. Okay, so now the next question is, what goes in the middle? So we need something with a little bit of height. I mean, we can always put pumpkins in there. I've got a beautiful soup tureen back there that Drazinka gave me last year that would work. I can try that. I think it might be a little too fancy for the style table we're going with, but we're gonna try it. I also have those dishes that I wanted to, let me grab them. So I have these two that we can kind of utilize and maybe use this as a centerpiece and put some flowers in there. Take that out. That's pretty, it matches really well. Okay. Let me think about that a second. I brought out Drazinka's soup tureen, and I do think it's going to be just a little bit too fancy for the look of the table. It is beautiful, so pretty, and I can put some flowers in there and make this really, really beautiful, but I think it might be too fancy. So that puts us back to square one. So I don't know what to do. It's just wider than this, where that other set was a little darker and it matched better. Although I could raise that up a little bit. Let me try that. So I got this at the thrift store the other day. It's a music box, but I don't want it to play music. I actually would like for it to stay still. Let me tighten it up a little bit. I'll turn you off. Okay. All right. We're going to put that in the middle, and we're going to put this here. Okay? Just hang tight. Let my thought process roll here. We're doing this together. Let me grab a couple of things. All right, we're doing this together today, y'all, because I have the house to myself. I can talk, I can scream, I can yell, I can dance, I can do all the things. So we're going to do this together. We're going to work through it. So I had a bunch of these actually. I called these hops, and I just threw them in there. So they're not in there perfectly by any means, but I just kind of stuck them all in there. I didn't use the hops this year. I'm not really sure why. Sometimes we'll change things up. We won't use the same things each year. So I had a bunch of these. So I was thinking maybe I could just kind of figure out a way to put them in there and make that my centerpiece. Now, of course, it'll be prettier if I decide to do this. I just didn't want to spend a lot of time if we weren't sticking with this plan. And then I got these candlesticks for $3 at the Habitat for Humanity a few weeks ago. These are very 1970s, and I love these. So I was thinking, how would that look on either side? I've got two different options for candles. I've got some pretty orange ones here, and then I've got these white ones that we can put there. I think I like the orange ones immediately. No, I do. Okay. And then that's just simple. Once we get our plates down, that would be a pretty little simple centerpiece. Very 1970s, very me. We also have these gold candlesticks here that we could use. And that's what they would look like. Just switch those out. Those are cute too. I like those. So that's another option we can use. Can you see all right? I think that might be a better view for you. If you hear the washing machine beating and banging in the background, that's my life. It's okay. So there's both of them, so you can kind of see. Definitely the brown. Love the brown. I might not even need this after all, if that's the way we're going. Okay, this is option number one. Very simple. Let me switch this out real quick. Keep that in the back of your mind. And again, we will go back in and we'll make the hops in that centerpiece a little prettier. But that's our first option. Let's do option number two. Okay, I have a bunch of these. I have collected them over the years. Again, it was something that we just didn't use this year. We went with different things. So I thought maybe this would be pretty to do a spray, which I don't know that would work. So let's take this down. I'm gonna leave this here just because I know I'm gonna have to have something there. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck these in on either side all the way down and see how it looks. Okay, so this is a mess. I don't like this at all. And honestly, if I would have put it together and loved it, I would come back later and do it right. I just kind of threw it together to get somewhat of an idea. So this is an absolute no. We can take all of this out. I'm not saying that I can't have some flowers down here, but this is just too many. So maybe what we can do is a happy medium between the two and just come in here with some stems, put a few flowers coming out from under here, and just mix the two different versions together. Of course, I'm gonna have to do this neater, obviously, you know, but what do you think? I don't like that orange. Too much color there. How about some of these? I've got these little stems that I got from Walmart on my little Walmart expedition. We can stick in there. No, that doesn't work. Hold on, let me see what else I have. I have my flip-flops on, so if you hear me flipping and flopping, that's just me. I haven't even taken the stickers off of these yet. Got these from Hobby Lobby. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then we can come in with some of these. Just a couple here and there. What do you think? I think that might be the best option for us. I just need to make it a little prettier and a little neater. And then I need to decide if I think I am going to keep the wooden piece. Maybe I'll run a a doily down there and pretty it up just a little bit, but I think that's a good plan to start with. So I just need to tighten everything up and make it look a little more professionally done, and then we'll move on to our plates. Okay, first let's put a doily down. Let's pick one that we like. That one I like, but it's a little white. See how this one looks. This is a little more off-white, which is more with our colors, I think. Okay, and then we've got this one, which is probably going to be too small. Where's our little thing at? Yeah, I don't even think we're going to be able to see that. Oh, I think maybe do this. I wish I had a long one. I do have a long one, but I'm using it somewhere. Okay, I have this option. It may not work, but we're gonna try it. This is just a scrap of fabric. You can tell it's not even, what do you call it? It's not hemmed at the side, because it's just literally a scrap of fabric. And I'm going to use it as a table runner just because I love I didn't have the heart to throw this away. This is the pattern that's in my bedroom on my pillows on my bed, and I had this little bit left over, and there was no way I was going to throw it away. So that's why I have this random scrap of fabric. That's a lot of explanation. But let's see if this works. Okay, from a distance you can't really tell how scraggly it looks, and when we start putting flowers and little stems in there, it may hide this part here, but we're gonna see. It may not work, but all we can do is try, right? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to put just a little bit of foam in here to hold these pieces down. So I need to cut, I guess, maybe that much off. Let me grab my knife. Okay. A lot of you said when I was painting in one of my other videos, and I was painting on this table, a lot of you said, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're painting on your table." Well, you know, this table has got a lot of paint on it from years past, and I told my husband and the girls, I said, when I'm gone, you're gonna have, this is my legacy. It's got scratches and dent and paint and everything. This is my legacy. You're gonna remember every single craft, every single shenanigan, everything I ever came up with. You're gonna remember it when you look here at all these dents and everything on this table. I don't want this table ever to be cleaned completely of all of these memories, because, you know, that's what, if I had a table full of my mama's old craft paint and things that she used to do, I sure the heck wouldn't clean it up with you. As a matter of fact, Missy Wade has a table in her kitchen that has paint all over it, and she doesn't clean it because of that very reason. She wants to keep those memories on her table. So good for you, Missy. Okay, we got some foam in there, and I'm just going to come in here and tuck in a few of these. Now, I don't know that I want to cut these, but I guess I'm going to have to. Where are my, they're over here. I'm going to cut a little bit down here, make them just a little shorter, and I'm just going to tuck them all in. And that's going to take a little while, so I'll do this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now, if I had more time to spend and wanted to spend more money and do all that, I would probably go to the Dollar Tree or somewhere and get like some wheat stems, because that I think would be a little prettier than these. But this is what we had to work with, so this is what we're going to use. That little stand is not the most sturdy, but it's going to have to do, because that's, again, that's what we got. That's what we got to work with, people. Okay, let me clean up a little bit here. And I need to wipe that table off again. Hold on. Where is my, y'all, I spend half the day saying, where is my, that's what I do. Where is my this? Where is my that? All right, let me clean up our mess. And then we're gonna have fun. The fun does start eventually, I promise. Okay, all right. Next up, I guess what we need to do is tuck a few of these little fall leaves in there. So I'm just gonna kind of do that. One on each side should be enough. These are very flat and they do not bend very well. Same with these, they're rubber, the stems are rubber, and they do not bend very well. So they're not very flexible if you're trying to do a display. You're at the mercy of wherever it's laying. So just keep that in mind if you're picking those out. But the brown leaves are nice for my decor because I guess I went a little darker this year and they seem to match everything. I'm using a lot of them. I mean, I had one year where I didn't use a lot of them. So like I said, we switch out what we favor to use in each year in each display. I'm just going to tuck those in there, and I'm going to tuck a few of these in there too, just because we have them. We'll stick them in there. All right, let's see. I think that should be enough. Maybe one more on this side and we'll be done. You can see it kind of hid that little runner, so you couldn't see where I've been it. All right, what do you think? Is that sufficient for what we're doing? Let's put our candlesticks here. Candlestick here. Yeah, very pretty. You know, the only thing that I would change in my displays this year that I came up with is I would get flameless candles on the mantle and flameless candles here so that I can actually use them instead of real candles. But I had already bought them when I realized that flameless candles would have been a better option, so we're stuck with that. That is our centerpiece, our makeshift throw together centerpiece. So now let's focus on what dishes we're going to use. My favorite part of decorating a tablescape. Okay, I brought out a few dishes that we have that we can kind of look at and choose from. The problem is that I only have a 4-piece place setting. So a lot of these dishes, like these and these, I only have 4 of. The only thing, and these, the only thing that I have 6 of are these guys right here, and I have a whole collection of these. But I have more of these than I can even count. Not this particular style, but stoneware dishes with that, like that, just brown rim around the edge. So, okay, so if I wanted to use these, because I kind of like, just ignore that chip, I kind of like this with this, and I could make it work. We could use these extra dishes here on the end pieces, so it would work, but we're just gonna make them all match. So what I was thinking, where was my brain going? I lost complete train of thought. So I have a bunch of these, and I was thinking this is what I want to do. Let me move this out of the way. I think what I'm going to do is put this here, and then since I have 6 of these, we're just going to cover up that little design in the middle, and then we're going to come in here with these and cover up that design like that, and come in with this little coffee mug and do it like that. And that way it kind of matches our centerpiece. Now, I'm only going to be able to do 4 of these because that's all the coffee mugs I have. But honestly, if we're being honest, I absolutely I'm loving these placemats. They're just so homey to me. They just remind me of something that my mom would have had sitting out all year long, all day long, just, you know, without setting the table, obviously, just to have out because it's pretty. I will probably, after the video and after the home tour and after all of that, just for everyday living, I will probably just keep it with just the placemats, and I'll be perfectly fine with that. But we want to make it to doll for everybody, so I'm going to do a place setting, and I think I'm going to do that unless I change my mind. So let me put this together real quick. Okay, we're going to put these back. Oh, by the way, I had to change my shirt. We're still on the same day, but I got hot, so we had to put a short sleeve shirt on so I wouldn't fall out in here. All right, we're gonna keep these. I need to go find 2 more stoneware dishes in my little craft room. Let me go grab that. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little bit easier on myself. Instead of having to go back there and find 4 more dishes that kind of sort of match that, I already had these sitting out from yesterday. I'm just gonna put them down there, and they actually work better anyway because they've got that beautiful brown edge. So we're just gonna do that, and it'll be fine. You won't be able to see the design, although, I mean, can you see that? That's pretty. But we're trying to focus on matching this. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna stick to the plan. Where are my little coffee cups? What do I do with them? Oh, I know where they are. I spend all day, I'm telling you. Where are my? I'm constantly looking for something that I have misplaced. Okay, there's that. And then let's go over here on this side. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. Which, oh gosh, I love those just like that too. Those are so pretty. Let me show you that before we sit this down. Hold on, let me show you the difference. See which one you like better. So this is with the other dish, this dish here, with the darker edge. So I like that better. That's with the coffee cup that matches that. So here's the front side. And then I was sitting it up back here, and I like these two together. Aren't those pretty? The yellow and the brown, and the yellow and the brown. And it still matches. That's quite pretty. Okay, we're gonna stick with the plan. I just wanted you to see that. Stick with the plan, Becky. That's why my ADHD starts kicking in when I start changing up things right in the middle of a decision. It drives David crazy. I need to put some stuff back there to hide that. So we only have a 4-piece place setting. Does that look okay? Do we absolutely need 6? Maybe not. Maybe not. That's just all I have. That's all there is to it. Okay, let's move on to the next. This is future Becky popping in, and yes, my voice is nasally. I am so sorry. I'm sick, but I could not live with that centerpiece. I looked at it, and it was just not doing it for me. So I looked through my stash of flowers that I had back in my craft room, and I found a few little goodies that I decided to sacrifice to make a different centerpiece. I also popped into the Dollar Tree, and I got 3 stems that look like, not wheat, but something similar to wheat. You'll see it in just a few minutes. I just broke them all up into single pieces and just started popping them in that same little vessel. And once I got everything in there, I was so much happier with the way the centerpiece looked. That other one, I guess, was fine. I wasn't feeling the best that day, and I was trying to hurry. That's the one I got from the Dollar Tree. I bought 3 of them. I probably only needed 2 though, but I just put all of them in there. But what was I saying? The centerpiece that I did would have been fine. It would have worked, but I was trying to hurry because I could feel myself starting to feel bad, and I was trying to get it done so that I could finalize the video, and I just rushed myself when I should have taken the time and did it properly. So this is a much better option, and I like it a lot better, is what I'm trying to say. I did pop in a couple of those little stems that I had originally taken out. They just filled in the empty spots a little bit. and made it look like everything was intentional and not just thrown together by leftover sticks and stems that I had. So just wanted to pop in and tell you that we did fix it up just a little bit, made it just a little bit prettier, because I know you were probably sitting there saying, girl, what in the heck is that? I can definitely tell you that I was not my best on this day. I was going downhill quickly at this point, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get better soon, Lord willing, and we'll be back to our old selves shortly. I want to put a few little doodads over here on this shelf. I don't want to spend a lot of time over there, but I want to get those yellow plates down and switch them out for more orange ones. So that should be an easy fix. And then maybe put some pumpkins or something up there. Just something simple in that little area. Okay, so the last thing that I need to do in the dining room is my blanket ladder. And I was going to pull out one of my old Afghans that I had thrifted a while back. And I may still do that for the house tour, for the full tour. But for now, because I am I just want to get finished. For now, I'm just going to put the same exact blanket that I put every year. We're just going to make it quick and get it done. And I usually hang that little wreath up here in the corner. And we're going to just call it finished, because I want to move on to the kitchen and finish this video up. I got this little mini wreath from Hobby Lobby, and I got this little sign from Dollar General for $2, and I just put the two together, tied some ribbon around the top of it, and I just tie it to the corner and let it just kind of drape down. But I do have a really, really beautiful Afghan that is a darker orange, and it's perfect. I just need to get in the closet to find it So for now, we're just going to use what we have. And then hopefully when you come back for the home tour, everything will be completed and look the way that I would like, or how the vision is in my head, including that. I think quite possibly for the last 3 to 4, well, how many years have I been on YouTube? I don't know. For the last at least 3 years, I said that I need to come in and iron this blanket, and I have not yet ironed the blanket. It's still wrinkled. Mostly because by the time I get my fall decor up, I'm already thinking about Halloween, and it doesn't stay up long, probably 3 weeks at the most. I might keep it up 4 weeks this year. We'll see. We'll see. According to how I get influenced on YouTube, but I usually take it up before I have a chance to even think about ironing wrinkles out of a blanket. Okay, guys, we're moving into the kitchen, and I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I think my battery is running low. Not my phone battery, but my battery. I think I might be getting sick. I feel a little twinge in my throat and a little bit nasally. I'm just kind of winding down a little bit. So I think what I want to do is, of course, I'm going to finish the kitchen, but I'm not going to tear everything down and start over. I wanted to show you kind of a before of what it looks like. I've got a few things pulled out. Let me move this chair. I've got a few things pulled out that we can use. A few pieces here, a few pieces over here. I pulled out my squirrels that I love and adore and cherish. So we have those. And, you know, my house is already kind of decorated for fall to begin with, so I really don't have to do a lot. All I got to do is just add some leaves and a couple doodads and probably just call it a day. So I also just bought that lamp, and I don't want to take it down either because I'm kind of enjoying it. Although it does not work. There is no scent coming from that, just so you know. If you want one for the sole purpose of making your candles smell good, which is what I bought mine for, don't waste your money because it does not work. Unless I need to get a higher wattage bulb, possible. I don't know. But, all right. Let's start here and finish this kitchen. All right, I'm going to start with this corner. It is usually kind of hard to film in these corners because I can't get the camera just right. So just bear with me. We're going to do the best we can. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plate down because even though it is all the colors of fall and all the colors of my soul, it is not quite matching with the rest of my decor. So I'm going to take that off. We're just going to use that little wicker piece there for a background. I've got sort of a plan, kind of a plan here. Not quite sure if it's going to work out or not, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to put that little riser there, and I've had these little, I got them from I got them from Dollar General a couple years ago, these little squirrels, and I have not been able to find quite the right spot for them. I've got a smaller one too. Let me go grab the smaller one. I think they kind of sort of go okay here in this corner. I don't think we need both of them, but one of them is certainly cute. And it kind of pops off of that background. It picks up the white from the wallpaper. I think this might be a good little solution here for us for this corner. And probably what I'll do is figure out how to put this one in the other corner so that everything kind of matches and goes together. So I've got a few sprigs of greenery here that we're going to use that match everything. Oh, I wanted to put this under here too. That's the lid to my candle. Hopefully it'll stay. We got this brown sprig of leaves. You can tell I'm starting to wind down because my words are not coming out quite as efficiently as they should. So just bear with me. I'm sorry. That's not going to hold. And then I do have this little piece here. I only have 2 of these. For whatever reason, everything I've put them in this year has not looked good, so I haven't used them. I've kept everything kind of minimal and haven't added that bright orange on anything. But I do still have 2 of them, and I was hoping to use them. You know what? That's fine. That is simple and sweet And I think I'm just gonna leave it just like that because I don't need a lot here. This is just enough. I might just sit my little salt and pepper shakers there. I do need to clean these canisters up a little bit because they do get used a lot and they get messy. So that's good. I wanted to change this sign out. Can you see it over there? Yeah, wanted to change that out for something different. So let me go see what I can find to put up there. All right, I am going to switch this little sign out for this one. This did not have a hook on the back. I got it from Dollar General, but I put a little thing on there and taped it down. So if you don't see it from the back, you can't tell, but I do love this little sign. I think it's adorable. The only problem is it's not gonna hang quite straight. So I might have to put a little bit of earthquake putty back there to make it hold. And I also want to put in these placemats. These were a gift as well, but I want to wipe these down. Wipe the table down just a little bit, countertop. And I'm going to come back later so you don't have to watch me and wipe these down as well because they need it. But like I said, I use these every day, especially that rice container. It gets used and refilled every single day. All right. I don't use the sugar as much, but the rice and the flour we use quite a bit. Okay, there we go. That's done. And then we'll put our salt and pepper shaker there. All right, now let's move over to the other corner. This corner over here I had already kind of deconstructed because I took the plate down and it's just kind of a mess right now. There's not a whole lot left to see. So I'm going to basically do the exact same thing over here that I did in that other corner because I kind of want them to sort of match. I've got this little crate that was left over from Lily's wedding. And I'm going to put that right there. I don't mind it being seen so much because it is kind of fall looking. It looks like a little apple crate or something. So it doesn't really bother me if you can see it. But I just need a little bit of height. My friend Ken keeps me up in crates. Or excuse me, not crates. Risers. He sends me risers. And I use them everywhere. And I've used all of them. I'm at the end of my riser pile, I guess. So we're using the exact same florals that we used over there. We're just gonna tuck them in. And I did grab a couple of this stem right here that you can break up into 4. I did grab a smaller little bundle. I stole it from my mantle because I needed some smaller pieces. I'm going to tuck that right there and then tuck that right there. And it just kind of flows a little better like that. And then I do have these little green pieces that I can tuck in there, but I don't want a lot of that green because it's just not the prettiest. It doesn't really add a whole lot. It's just for the color, so I don't want to go crazy with that. And then I did steal a couple of these out of my mantle as well. I'm going to tuck those in, and I need a few more to tuck on my other corner because I didn't have any for that one. And then we're just going to put our matching squirrel right there, and we're going to call that a day. I do want to keep my candle out, so I'm going to put that right there. This is the only piece of amber glass that I have decorated with other than what was already out in the house. I didn't pull out any of my amber glass this year. Can you believe that? I know, that's crazy. We've got 3 different towels here that we can use. This is my favorite. I think Julia sent me that. I love it. It's so cute. Which is Ken's wife. Ken and Julia. You've heard me mention them before. But look how cute it is up there. So there's that one. And then I've got this one, which is, I think came from Joann's. It needs to be straightened a little bit. And then this one came from the Dollar General. Had it for a while. I don't think I've used it though, because I have other ones that are prettier. But there's that. Definitely not that one. Let's just use Julia's for now. She sent me one with a turkey on it too, that I absolutely adore. And then I got these the other day at the thrift store for 50 cents. They're just a little hangy thing there. Maybe thinking about just hanging it right there, but I need another piece of jute twine because that's not quite big enough. So let me go grab that. All right, so I'm just gonna tie that right there and just let it hang just like that. Isn't that sweet? Just leave it just like that. It's good enough. And I do have somewhere, here we go again, where is my placemat? I picked up another placemat. Here it is. That I want to put down here to match the other one. This does need to be cleaned up a little bit, especially sitting right here beside the stove. This little area gets dirty. Okay, so I'm going to put this cute little mat down and bring this back. If I had a bigger kitchen, I certainly would not have all these utensils in this ugly silver container. I certainly would not, because I would have them hidden. But I don't have any drawers in my house. I only have 2 drawers, and one has all the silverware and one has knives and things. So that's why I have to put everything out like that. I would benefit from getting a pretty utensil holder though. Maybe that's something I can look for when I go to the thrift store. All right, I'm gonna put this back here just for a little touch of texture. Is that how I had it? I can't remember. I don't remember how it was laying. I'll put this back down too. Okay, and then these little guys, where can we put these? We still have one more shelf to decorate, so let's hold off on putting those out, because I still have my little shelf that I got from Hobby Lobby over there. So we're gonna call this one done for now. Okay, now this is the last thing inside the house that we have to decorate. And I have no idea what I'm doing. I have wiped this off, but I have no idea. I've got a few more things that we can use to decorate with. I use a lot of this, like the salt and pepper shakers and the toothpicks. The rest, this down here I don't really use, but brown sugar I use, I keep that out. So let me just take everything off. I need to wipe it down anyway. And then we'll come up with a plan, because I am running out of decorations. If you can believe it. I know that's hard to believe, but we are. We're running out of decorations. Or put it this way, we're running out of picks and sticks and things like that. Where is my spray bottle? Okay, here it is. Let's spray this down, because this gets a little dirty too in the kitchen. All right, now I got this from Amazon. No, I did not. I got this from Hobby Lobby. And if you're wondering what that big blob of something or another is right there, that is hurricane. No, tornado. No, earthquake putty. I keep that there because when the shelf came to me, it was wobbly, and one of you guys said put earthquake putty down there, and that's what I do. And it keeps it from wobbling, because see, it wobbles, but when I put that there, it does not. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep this here. Pretty sure. I love the colors. If I don't keep it here, I'll go put it somewhere. I'll use it somewhere on my, maybe on my Amazon shelf over there, but we're going to use that for certain somewhere. Let's see, what do we have to work with? Let me grab a few things. All right, I have grabbed a few things. I have grabbed a lot of things, actually. I'm going to take my brown sugar and put it in the cabinet for now because, I mean, I do use it, but not on an every single day basis, so we can do without it for just a little while. This is my very last little bundle of greenery that I have, so I broke it up, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it in here and just kind of fluff it up a little bit. I do have 2 of these left in the whole of all of my decorations, so we're going to use them. We're going to tuck those in the back. Where did the other one go? Well, I have it somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. And then we're going to tuck in a little decoration here as well. And this is the last little stem of these that I got from Hobby Lobby. We don't have any more of those. That's it. Here it is. There it is right there. So I wanted to kind of tuck that in the back, maybe, so it just kind of peeks out the back end a little bit, and maybe one more little sprig of green right there. Let it just kind of hang over the side. I decided that I wanted to put my salt and pepper shaker over here instead. I actually have both of them that I want to use on this shelf. So my little individual ones, I'll show you those in a minute. I found a perfect place for them. And then we have this little Hello Fall sign that I have tried to put in every single spot of my house because I love it. I got it from Joanne. Rest in peace, Joanne. When they were open, I love it. But I just could not find the perfect place for it. So I've been struggling a little bit trying to find a place to put it. And I think this is a good spot. And then I found some more risers, by the way. Actually, let's put him up on a little riser. Let's make him a little more special. And then I want to keep my salt and pepper shakers out and my toothpicks out because that is an everyday necessity, so I do need them. So we're going to put them right there. Maybe we'll put a little doily underneath them. I know they're kind of hard to see, but I know they're there. That's all that matters, is we know where to reach to get them. And I have this little pumpkin. I like this side of it better than that side, so I'm going to kind of tuck it right there. And let me see what this would look like. See if that would be too much. My ADHD is kicking in. I know y'all are so tired of hearing me talk. Yeah, I like that. That's cute. Okay, so I'm going to tuck these little stems in here. Let them kind of stick out of the back a little bit. And let's see, maybe one more. I don't want a ton more in there. I'm going to push it back as far as I can get it. Let's see how that looks. Is that too crowded? Yes, it is. But it's a necessity. It's a little crowded. Let's see. It's not even the crowdedness that I don't like. It's these two so close together. So let's see, maybe. I think the answer is a smaller pumpkin. So I took that big pumpkin out. We're going to tuck a smaller pumpkin in and then let it sit over here on the side. I don't like that one. That one's not the one. This one is a little lighter. And we'll figure it out, y'all. We're going to do this together. How about if we just do away with the pumpkin altogether? How about that? It's kind of, I would rather have the squirrels up there than the pumpkin, right? Do you agree? All right. How about that? Yeah, that'll work. That will work. Good enough. You can tell I'm ready to be done. Okay. Hope you can see that, okay? Let me zoom you in just a little bit. It's just simple. As I've got my little pumpkins here. I'm happy with them. Excuse me, my little squirrels, not my pumpkins. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired. We're done. We're done. I'm so sorry. My words just won't come out today. That's where I ended up putting my other squirrels. So I think they are perfectly adorable sitting there, just adorable. I've messed my table up now. I have a lot to clean up, but I'm gonna clean up a little bit and let you see the kitchen, kind of sort of in its entirety. I don't want to do a whole bunch of footage on everything because I want you to come back for the full house tour, but I do need to clean up just a little bit and put things in order and tidy them up. I did also decide, I pulled out that blanket that I told you about. It's sitting right here, and I decided that instead of hanging it on the blanket ladder, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drape it across the back of my couch, because I did that at Christmas time and I loved it. It was really pretty in there. So got a little bit of cleanup to do, and then I will be back to talk to you guys in just a few minutes. I want to add this in real quick because I forgot to add these in. They were in a box separate from everything, but I had some gifts that were given to me and I wanted to pull those out and use those as well. This is a little spoon rest. Now this has a little plate and salt and pepper shakers. I'm going to use the salt and pepper shakers for Halloween because the hat that the little owls got on looks a little more like a witch, where this looks like a stem. So I think I'm going to use the salt and pepper shakers for Halloween. And then so that I could use this, I just switched out that for my candle holder. So I'm going to keep that right there. And then I had another little owl. Hold on. I put him over here in a little plate holder. I thought he was just kind of cute. When you come around the corner, his little eyes just kind of grab your attention. So, and yes, I know I need to put a picture in my picture frame. We'll get to that on another day. But isn't he cute sitting over here? And then I have some salt and pepper shakers. Now these salt and pepper shakers came with this little stand, but I think I just like them better like they are, just two little pumpkins sitting here. So I just set them right there next to my canisters, which they are awfully cute sitting on the stand. So now I'm a little undecided, but I do think, yeah, maybe just the little shakers. So we're all done with the dining room and we're done with the kitchen. Got this little guy here. That is all I'm doing for today. I think I'm gonna lay down and rest a little while because I am not feeling the best right now. I think I just need maybe some lunch. It's 3 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet. So I'm gonna do that. Let me turn this camera around and I will say my goodbyes. Before I say my goodbyes, I actually do want to show you this. So this is my giveaway pile, and you will be happy to know that I did manage to get rid of a few things. So I have 2 bags in a box. Very proud of that. I'm going to call my sisters and see if they want any of it, and if they don't, then we'll take it to the thrift store. And then the next thing we're going to do is the porch, and this little guy right here is sitting here ever so patiently waiting to be displayed outside on the porch. All right, you guys, I'm going to say my goodbyes. I'm going to finish cleaning up this little bit that I have left and take the boxes out to the shed. But for now, thank you guys so much for spending a few minutes of your day with me. In this case, you spent a whole hour with me because I just realized that this video is very long and I'm so sorry. It means the whole world to me that you think enough of me to take just a few minutes of your day and spend watching my videos. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you all. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.